What's up, Slingshot Audio Garage? My name is Johnathan Taylor, and with me is Paula, as usual. And we've got our technical guru, Ted. He's in the background, but, he keeps the show together for us. So this is In the Lab podcast number 24. And we were going to have Brad with 12 Volt on here in just a minute. But so how's it been going, Paula? How you been?
Good. Just kicking your ass on these pose-off challenge.
I knew you were going to start swinging right out of the gate. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do a pose off, without like a bikini top on and still look good. So
I think you should just do it
with the bikini top.
Just a bikini top and whatever jeans or something, and then your big.
Okay. That might work. In today's society, they might be like, "Hey, we're not going to ask." They might just give me the trophy. So you just never know.
Wear your T-shirt and just put a bikini top over your T-shirt.
Perfect. Yeah, that would work too. Yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. What's silly is I can start envisioning it. It's like that would be ridiculous.
That would be hilarious. I think that picture will go viral. I'll share it a million times.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, let's bring on Brad with the 12 Volt Specialist. I've known him for a little while now, and he's a good guy. So how's it going, Brad? How you been?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Man, doing good.
Hey, I want to start this off real quick.
Okay.
You, Johnathan, have got to come up with something better. You are such a disadvantage in this pose-off thing. You need to find a different way to compete with Paula on a fundraiser. I'm sorry, but
no, you're right. I mean, you're right. Like I can raise a little bit of money, but I just don't have the fan base or let's be honest, the looks to be a quote pose off, model. But I don't know. I'm gonna put up a good fight. That's for sure. If anything, I'm not afraid to.
I appreciate the effort. I do appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I know. And I could definitely. I know that we're cool and all, but you won't be putting money in my bucket, and I understand that. That's okay. Like I can accept that, but. Well, man, Brad, I tell you what, let's start it off like this. Well, after starting it off like that, let's take it back to the beginning of audio. Before a second ago when we talked, you don't have to take us that far back because some of us weren't born yet. But whatever you feel comfortable with, man, take us back to the beginning, like how you got into it, what your why you do what you do, and what has kept you doing it this long. Because I mean, shit, audio can get boring sometimes, but so yeah, just tell us about it. What makes you do what you do?
I honestly, the thing that I like about audio is every system's different. It doesn't matter if you use all the same equipment in the exact same vehicle.
Yeah,
everything's going to be different. And so it's not like walking into an office, sitting down at a desk and typing on a computer all day, every day, or filling out forms or any of that stuff. It just, everything's fresh, new, and there's always something new that comes down the line that you want to get into, whether it's boats, bikes, slingshots, low riders, mini trucks, you name it. I mean, I've seen it all come and go.
Yep.
All of this stuff is fads. There's phases to all of it. It's just a matter of catching on the new thing when it comes out and riding the wave till it goes away. Then go to the next one. So
yeah, you're right. And you've been doing, and you don't just do slingshots. I mean, you do, I was talking to you one day, you were doing like an alarm and an RV and just random shit, you're the 12 Volt Specialist. So you're not just a bagger guy.
Done a bunch of satellite dishes and RVs and you name it. It's anything that's got a battery, runs off a 12 volt. I probably put electronics in it in one way or another.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
The name is so perfect too. I mean, it's.
Mm-hmm. What's the? I was going to say what. So like, what was your like first vehicle that you had a stereo system in? Let's start with that. How about that?
It was a 5010 John Deere tractor on the farm in Kansas.
See that?
And I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I started out, I mean, legitimately, if people want to know how far back this goes for me, back in 83, 84, I started putting stereos in all farm implements for people on their trucks, combines, tractors, back on the farm. Went to college to actually design mobile electronics equipment. Got a job doing installs. Found out it was way more fun to actually install what was out there than try and come up with the next new greatest thing. So I started doing installs and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the tractors because I know we were talking one day. I think it was in Memphis last year. We're sitting down eating at the mall, and you're telling me about tractors, something or other. I'm like, tractors, like you know people, but you don't know people. So when you get a little backstory, it's like that's the craziest shit I ever heard. Like you don't know people.
Yeah, it's a little different world.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes it fun, though. Especially when you start talking with slingshots and something new, and because. It was the first time we ever talked. You were doing baggers and stuff, and then getting into slingshots, and then you guys brought out the thing, which was kind of changed everything when it comes to slingshot audio. Like nobody was ready for that type of
yeah. That
sound.
was a very interesting project that came about because in the bagger world we were having good luck with competition stuff. Making some pretty good bikes, traveling around the country, and went to an event actually here in Dallas with a bunch of slingshots. And, it was the gentleman that I was working for at the time came back and said, "Hey, we're going to build a slingshot." And I was like, okay. Backstory to that is back in 2015, I was actually working at Car Toys, and a buddy of mine came in, the guy that I done a bunch of stereo work for, came in. He said, "Hey, man, I got a vehicle I want you to put a stereo system in." I was like, all right, let's go look at it. Walk outside, and here sits this slingshot. And I'm like, what in the hell is that thing? Yeah. He's like, "Oh, dude, these are the newest thing. These are badass. You got to put a stereo in this for me." I said, "Take it home. I'm not touching it. I will not put a stereo system in that vehicle. You're out of your mind." He's like, "Come on, man." I said, "No, I won't do it." So he literally left.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, and 70% of what I'm doing right now is slingshots. And I look back at that at 2015 going, what an idiot. I should have just jumped on that when I had the chance. But
yeah. You could have been so far ahead of everybody,
But,
but at the same time you are. Like that's where, you don't necessarily have to be the first one in to be a leader in the field. Like you just have to look at it different,
Right.
Well, we have TJ in the comments saying to Rob, if it ain't 12 volt, it ain't shit. So
easy there, TJ. There's a lot of people in this industry that do good work. I tip my hat to a lot of people that come up with a lot of creative ideas that really help push what we do here. You go out and you see people doing new things and you're like, man, I got to do something like that, or that's cool, or let's tweak that a little bit and go this way with it. If you don't have those people out there, I feel like people probably look at me the same way. At times, there's things that I do that people look at and go, wow, that's a cool idea. We ought to do that. And then all of a sudden you start seeing it, but that's what keeps this industry fresh and keeps it growing, keeps people coming.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what, that's why I was going to say, that I like about you that, you don't really get online and hype up you know, you don't talk the shit, you know, and you got people that'll do that for you, you know, and at the same time, you know, if you lose an event or lose at a deal, you're just like, you know, or that's what I like, because you'll ask me like, what do you think? And I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not like a specialist, but I know what I'm listening for, and you know, I always call you golden ear because you tune my shit, and I tell everybody that when you hear Brad's tune versus anybody else's tune, it's a distinctively different tune because you have a whole different way of looking at it and what you're hearing, and you can even take some input from the person you're tuning it for. If they say, well, like I wanted a loud vocal sound, but and so you gave me that, but still added that depth in the vocal also that you like.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, you can take direction and not just do it and say, no, this is how it needs to be done. Just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, you're not that guy. And there's a lot of people out there that are full of themselves. And it's like, you know,
well, you know,
you don't
it's
have to be like that.
It's super important. You got to think about it. Every slingshot or motorcycle or car, whatever vehicle it is that comes in this shop, I don't own it. The customer does.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is the customer gets what they want. You know, so you got to make sure, you know, somebody, man, there's some stereo systems out there. I hate to name any names, Kenyatta, but, you know, loves a lot of highs. And I'm not a big highs person. And his slingshot freaking screams, and he absolutely loves it. I don't, but I'm good with it because Kenyatta is happy as can be, you know? So cool. That's what you want. You know, you want people happy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking credit for Kenyatta slingshot because Adrian and RCB put their fingers all over the highs on that thing and got it to what Kenyatta wanted because they're probably better at that stuff than I am. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I did it, but you know, you've got to cater to people's wants more so than your desire to get stuff done. You know, it's got to be, make it unique.
No, exactly. And like I said, it's always and it's at the end of the day, it's all subjective anyway, when you're quote competing or, you know, judging their ear, it's all whatever, you know, but I like I said, I tell everybody, I say, listen to the way this sounds. And I'll have like regular customers or just average people, and they'll be talking like, what makes this one better than this one? I'm like, well, listen to this one. You know, you can hear the distinctive differences in the sound and the separation in the frequencies. It's a distinctively different sound. And then someone else plays and it's like one sound. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's loud, and everybody can be loud, but there is a difference when it's distinctively different when it's playing certain songs or, you know, but, and it's sometimes hard to explain to certain people, but at the end of the day, it's all got to be fun. You know, you got to be having fun with that shit.
Well, and that's the beauty of, you know, the competitions and stuff. Who cares where you finish? You know, honestly, I take, you know, the mad scientist slingshot out and compete with it. I get beat on a regular basis. I don't care because that thing speaks for itself. Everybody and their dog walks up and goes, oh, holy shit. What is that? I got to hear that. You know, that's all it needs. You know, the Joker's the same way. You know, you take the Joker from down in Florida, you know, that thing rolls out. Who gives a damn what anybody else thinks about it? Because that dude freaking loves his slingshot. And he has fun with it. You know, that's what's important. And if you pull in a ring and the judge looks at you and goes, oh, well, that slingshot beat you today. Congratulations. You know.
So I have a question before I get to a few questions from YouTube. The ball of electricity, what is that? How? Okay.
You can tell she's telling her age. She's telling her age right there.
I'm 36, turning 37 this Saturday. Thanks. But
okay. The whole idea on my slingshot, being the mad scientist, was going to be put 2 Tesla balls on the slingshot, you know, with the deals that the electricity arcs back and forth
from one to the other.
From one to the other. And I decided that might be kind of a problem. So I went to the just what everybody calls a Tesla ball, but it's not. It's a light up globe, and you can touch it, and the stuff follows your fingers around the glass. I can't think of what they're called now, but it's simply decoration. The sad part about it is I have another miniature one. It's a little 3-inch, and I was going to build it as my gear shift, and I have never got it done.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
You gotta do that.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to do a lot of things,
cool.
and that doesn't pay the bills. So
the bingo right there. That is the number one.
The other one that
the first time I think I saw it, it was Sling Experience 22.
22, yeah.
Yeah, 2022. And I saw the thing, and I was like, no way that they put that on there. It looked awesome. I loved it.
And I broke 3 of them. That's the 4th one.
Oh.
They keep you play the slingshot and it cracks. So they keep getting replaced because I don't know what else to do with it. But the other thing that I've done on that slingshot that nobody knows is we actually put 2 smoke machines underneath on the frame, perforated the frame rails, and had underbody lights, so you would have, the thing would like roll up on a smoke cloud.
Yes.
But I've never been able to get it to work for more than about 2 minutes because you get condensation built up in the pipe and the water kills the smoke. And now Rob Lefler's rolling around with a smoke machine and a slingshot. So I'm afraid to actually put the thing on, get it working, because everybody go, oh man, you're copying Rob. So,
exactly. Yeah,
like,
he will be the first one too. He'll be the first one online going, look at 12 volt trying to copy me.
Yeah, exactly. Especially after I stickered his truck. I know anything.
Wait, didn't you put like 100 stickers on his windshield?
No, it wasn't. It was only about 25, 30-ish. Yeah. And there were 4 of us that did it. It was not, I have video evidence of a bunch of people actually sticking decals on the windshield. So it wasn't me by myself.
Well, actually, he's the one asking questions on YouTube. He's asking who came up with the name 12 volt specialist.
Actually, Ben Hecht.
Yeah?
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people in the industry probably know Ben. And those of you that don't, Ben is probably at this point in time, Ben is kind of the behind the scenes guy. If you inbox me or message me on Facebook, Ben is probably who you're communicating with. He does all my sale or 90% of my sales for me. He does a lot of the communication, a lot of legwork that nobody sees. And I got to give him a lot of credit because nobody knows that he's doing all of that, but he is.
Mm-hmm. So awesome. Yeah,
he's a good guy. Mm-hmm. And probably one of the best salesmen you could ever meet. He'd sell ice to Eskimos,
Nice.
But yeah, just to touch on real quick to finish the story about the decals on Rob's truck. The funniest part about the whole deal was I told Rob we were going to do it, but his truck was parked at the Harley dealership, not at the hotel. So I told him what my plan was for his truck the night before. Well, then we're loaded up and getting ready to leave, and Rob's sticking around. So Rob brings his truck and trailer over to the hotel and goes out for the night with all the guys from Light 'em Up. And I got the privilege of saying, okay, guys, Rob's truck here, let's go get it. So we told him what we were talking about doing, but couldn't do. And then he brings his truck in and makes it possible for us to do hours later. So
perfect. Yeah.
It's kind of his fault.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have left it over there and been safe, It's funny. So he secretly wants to be Team 12 Volt because, he's always parking next to you guys. And Sling Experience, we were all hanging out, with each other. And, and he was playing the slingshot. And I was like, yeah, 12 Volt did that. And no, I didn't say that. But it was good. That's what makes it fun, though, like it's a whole different shop, that built the slingshot. But, it's not like you're going to be like turn that shit off, Rob. You're in my, my
Yeah, no
area.
kidding.
It's not like that. And that's, that's what makes it fun. It's not even nobody. At the end of the day, nobody really cares. It was all just having fun, playing music, and just bullshit. That's what it's about.
Well, he's starting some stuff in the comments.
Well,
He's
that's
got
what
another little question for you, Brad. He's asking, and Ted, this is not my question. I'm just reading the comments like I was told. Okay. So.
Yeah, see, there you go. You can't talk about Ted, or Ted will delete you off the group. You'll be mid comment if you talk anything about Ted, and all of a sudden you're just like.
Rob is asking, what's the longest project you've had in your shop?
Saying Ted. Don't say Ted, or he's going to take you off.
I'm not throwing Ted under the bus. Actually, if you want to know the truth, Ted hasn't got there yet. The longest project that has been in my shop was my Slingshot. Mm-hmm. I started the Mad Hatter in December. The Mad Hatter. I just read Antoine's name and it threw me off. Sorry. I started the Mad Scientist in December of 2019, and it got finished in April of 2022, 2 days before Sling Experience.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's when I saw it. Yeah.
So I mean it literally never got completely done, but we stretched that Slingshot, and I built the sub boxes for the 415s in December of 2019.
Yeah, because I remember seeing it in 2022 when I was over there, and we were talking about it. And I'm like, dude, this thing's crazy, and we're just blah blahing about it. And you're like, yeah, I need to get on it, and then it just shows up one day, and you're like, holy shit, that is ridiculous. So yeah, it was cool to see it where it was to what it is now, and that's a whole different Slingshot,
Yeah, that Slingshot was actually a wrecked Slingshot. It had been rolled and totaled, and we bought it and put two together and stretched it. So
nice.
Yeah, it didn't even come with any plastic on it. I mean, literally, it came with no plastic whatsoever. It was a frame.
Yeah,
when we bought that thing.
Are you bringing it to Miami in November?
What's that?
Are you bringing it to Miami in November?
I am not. I have a family wedding that weekend in Kansas that I have been told that I will be disowned and disavowed if I don't make it.
Ted,
so
take him off. Take him down. Take him down.
Ted, cut him off. Yeah. And
unfortunately, I want to go to Miami, but I cannot at all. There's no way around it. So, and James knew that because I talked to him back in, I think end of last year when he was putting together his schedule for this year. I said, dude, whatever you do, don't schedule Super Bowl around November 7th. Do the weekend before, the weekend after. I got a family wedding and I can't be there. He's like, yeah, no problem. So we did. He scheduled Super Bowl for September.
Yeah, and I don't, I don't know.
That was my fault. That's why this is like the final knockout. This is like,
I get it.
The whole year you want a grudge match against somebody, you got to come to Miami and final knockout.
Yes. And I don't know. I don't know how well it would do in the rain, so I can't drive it. So
if you're talking about taking my Slingshot to Miami, can you imagine how many gas stops you'd have to make?
Yeah, you're right. Because, if it's a 20-hour trip, that's 10 stops. But if it's a 20-hour trip in yours, that's probably 15 to 17
You get 50
stops,
miles to a tank of gas.
Yeah, that's a heavy
So
ass
do the
Slingshot,
math.
So, yeah.
It's got a 4-gallon gas tank on it.
I couldn't do it because you would have to trailer that one because it's not even, we drive fast, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I drive it around town and everything. When we go to the events, I'll go out in it, but I ain't going far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we got another question from TJ. What's your favorite class to build and why?
That's a loaded question. I probably what I build more than anything is middleweights. as far as competition slings, but
Mhm.
I like all of them because I don't know. Every class is different. I mean, you've got limitations that you have to overcome and things you have to come up with for every single class. And it each one presents its own challenge, but I've probably built more middleweights than I have anything else. So,
Mhm.
Middleweights are fun.
Yeah.
The thing I like more than anything, and I imagine there's a lot of people around the country that'll back me up on this. The more speakers you put on a slingshot, the harder it is to tune. I
Mhm.
mean, it takes so much more to make 16 speakers sound right than it does 6.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's more of a showcase when you can take the bigger classes, the welterweights, the middleweights, and the heavyweights, and make them sound
Mhm.
like they
Yeah.
should, with that many speakers and that many phasing problems and that much
Mhm.
cancellation and all the crap you have to deal with.
Yep.
I tip my hat to anybody that can do that well, and
Mhm.
there's a few guys out there that can. So,
And I love that response because, for the average person that doesn't know, they just assume, well, it's 16 speakers, it's going to be loud. It's like that's not the point. Of course, it can be loud, but like you said, phasing and time alignment and frequency separation and how many amps do you have on that thing, and do you have enough? Do you not have enough? Do you have you know separation where you should have it separate? Like there's so much that goes into it besides saying, well, I got a mid-range and a tweeter and then a different tweeter and they all have a different amp. It's like, well, but it's more to it than that. It's not just 16 speakers and a bunch of tweeters and you make it all loud. It's
right.
the particular sound on this side, the particular sound on this side as you walk around it. Like there's things you don't even know, like that you do and you realize that was a good idea, or you do and that wasn't a good idea. And that's a question and a good answer bit that people can't sometimes wrap their head around because they just assume, oh, I got a shitload of speakers, I'm good. But yeah,
Hey,
tuning is difficult.
yes,
Sounds
absolutely. I'm looking at a comment over here, and no, don't bring any boats.
I'm supposed to ask you that. So why do you not like doing boats? What's up with that?
Typically, people want boats done in the dead of summer when
Yeah.
it's, hey, I want to take my boat to the lake this weekend. Can you get a system put in it for me? So it's a rush job. It's 120 degrees outside,
Right.
and you're working in fiberglass and
Yeah.
dust, and it
Yeah.
just itches and it's nasty. And then anything you put in a boat, you just figure 2 years on a 2-year lifespan on a system in a boat because
Yep.
the water's going to screw it up anyway. So, you know that whatever you do is not going to last and you're going to have to do it again. And yeah, I freaking hate boats. I
Yeah.
have a policy at my shop that I use. It's called gap pricing. And anybody that brings me a boat that's not like a really close personal friend that I owe a favor to gets gap pricing. Gap pricing is the go away price, which
I like
which
that.
means
Yep.
if I would normally do it for $2,000, the price is $6,000,
Yeah.
and you're either going to pay it or you're going to go away.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and if
don't
you
want to
pay it,
do
it's going to be worth my time, and if you don't, I'm okay with that too.
Yep.
So it's gap pricing, and boats get that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're gonna do a good job. It's just I don't
Right.
want to do it. So the money's got to be right.
Yeah,
Like
it's got to be ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
We call that the FU price. Like
Right. Yeah, there's
good or FU,
right. There's 1,000 names for it, but
Yeah.
it's all the same principle.
And my favorite is the customer that says, what's it cost for you to like stop everything and work on mine? It's like you can't afford that. And
Right.
hardly nobody can afford that. Like that's
I can't afford that.
Yeah, I can't afford that. Like so, I always love that question. Like,
Yes.
what if you just stopped on everything and worked on just mine? I'm like, 50
Yeah,
grand. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I'll pay you double if you do it right now. I'm like,
no,
no,
we're still not even talking
because
right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the people that are already here that are in line to get their stuff done,
Yep.
I alienate them as a customer to keep you. I alienate 10, 20 people to keep one person happy.
Exactly. That's
No,
going to cost a lot. and
not
well,
happening.
yeah, it would cost more than it would be worth. There's just nobody would pay that bill. Yeah.
There's a comment that popped up on the screen. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah, Anthony Galliano, who's a better customer, Roe or TJ?
That's funny. That's a good question right there, because you got Roe's a badass customer. I mean, but we could go further back to we're not even talking about Blue 2 and Blue the original, which
Right.
put you on the map, and you got
Red pill,
KG,
blue pill.
Yep, KG, and those guys are
Yep.
like the first of the first. Like, don't Rob, or not Rob, but TJ and Roe, don't take it the wrong way, but you guys are like the new flavor. Like the other guys are the OGs. So who's that in the background? I couldn't see.
Oh, really? Take a guess.
Was it Ted coming out of the room?
No.
Working?
Ted left earlier. He's at home.
Oh, okay.
That was TJ.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
He was putting his vote in for best customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. There's a lot of comments happening right now. I can't even keep up, guys.
And that's what people it's always the case, especially with audio, when people, I don't want to call it the new flavor of the month. I mean, TJ's got impressive Slingshot, Rose got impressive. I know Ted's is going to be awesome one day. And, it's just, you got, but some of the original guys, I'm like, shit, hold on, Ted, I got a point I'm making. I got a point. Don't.
We do have a pool going on when Ted's is going to be done.
Oh,
when is that?
I can't tell you.
He got a lot done, so he said he's really been working on it. So I'm excited.
But I'm getting a free cruise if I win. It's worth the money.
Wow.
But,
shit, I need to get in on this one.
You can. We'll let you in. It's open to the public, except Ted. Yeah. He doesn't get he didn't get a play.
He needs to play. Yeah, I told him, like mine, I'm sure I'll start working on it like a week before Memphis Madness, just like last time. And it'll be like, I work the best under pressure. If I have like a month to work on it, I don't even want to work on it. It's hot, and it's no excitement. But when the event is about to happen, it's like, all right, shit, I got a fiberglass, and it's time to work. But you're going to be at Memphis, right?
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss Memphis.
Hey, I'll see you there too.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, we're headed to Chicago this weekend, and then we'll be in Memphis 3 weeks after that, and then possibly back to Bikes and Base in Atlanta, and then Mississippi.
Okay.
All of those are kind of possible.
Mm-hmm. And you still do a lot of baggers and stuff too, right?
I do a few. I haven't done as many motorcycles lately, mainly because I'm so backed up on fiberglass work, and I really don't have anybody else here that does fiberglass work. So, it's a little tough to get into bikes when nobody else here. Josh, the guy that works for me, has never worked on a bike in his life, and you just can't bring somebody loose on a motorcycle, like you can Paul. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, I do. Like, we've got one, should be completed. We should be completed middle of next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's rolling out for a guy named Worm.
Nice.
He's Brian Sinners and Saints paint is painting it right now, did all of the build, and then I'm doing the audio system on it. That thing looks sick. So
nice.
Okay. We have another question from Mad Hatter, from Miss Mad Hatter, Mrs. Mad Hatter. What's the hardest mod on a Slingshot that you've done?
Man, that's a good question.
I saved it since I figured.
I don't know. There's unique challenges to all of them. Making the bumpers that we make was challenging. To get it to look like it belonged. building the sub boxes because everything's built. I don't have any molds for, I have very few molds for any of the fiberglass stuff that I do. I hand build pretty much everything. So doing what everybody else calls the BBLs, I guess, and making them come out consistent and right is a pretty good challenge. I think the biggest challenge that I get, honestly, is probably being able to stick with everybody's theme. You know, everybody's got a theme on their slingshot and they want their stuff to kind of go with who their slingshot is. Yeah. And being able to make something that fits with what they're doing gets to be a challenge, you know, whether it's paintwork or whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's that's a hard question. Because you're right. There's so much that you build that's not simple. Like it seems like everything's kind of hard. Like the fender pods and it's like there's nothing like basic. They're always typically kind of elaborate. Like even Shelly's box and her featherweight, that's like a 4th order band pass for an 8 or some shit. It's like it ain't just a sub facing forward. Like it's complicated. You know, when you look at it, it's like, where's the box? You know?
Yeah, and it's all crammed into a factory tub.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what people don't. I won't say won't appreciate, but they don't understand. You know, it's not just a box you threw in there, and that sounds incredible. It's like that thing took some time to figure out, to dial in, to not get right and then get right, and took some changes. So.
Yeah, we spent a little time on that for her, but if you ask her, I haven't spent near enough time because there's no lights, and But if we get the time this winter, you're going to see one come out that's hers. That's going to be completely different than any slingshot you've seen so far. I mean, it will look, and it's not. It's not geared towards audio. This is strictly modifying a slingshot to make it fit a theme, and hope we can nail it for her benefit because it's going to be fun. So we'll see.
That's what I like. I like that kind of stuff. Like it's when you theme a slingshot, instead don't just put a sticker on it and call it something. Like make it that thing. Like
that's exactly cool. What it's going to be. If it all works out, Sling Experience will be where that thing shows up, and there will be no question when you walk up what the theme of that slingshot is. It will just be an automatic given.
I like that. Yeah. You have to let me in on that off the air, because I definitely want to help, because that's fun to me. Like I got with Raymond's, I got a whole Black Widow I'm making. It's stupid. It's like it's the most dumbest shit ever, but that's the point. It's not a sticker, and even mine is. It's Rainmaker, but it's kind of got away from that. But I've got something that I want to build for Sling Experience that's unique to what it is. When you see it, you're like, that's fucking ridiculous. And you'll know exactly what it is when you see it and what I was going for. And that's the fun part, it's a slingshot, man. It's never ending,
You just need to get you a big screen that you can like put over the top of your slingshot with a projector and project like rain clouds. So when you're driving down the road, you just got rain following you everywhere.
Well, I was thinking about one of those those
Rainmaker.
Those flexible like monitors, those flexible TV monitors, just get like the biggest one I could possibly find and make it like the whole roof,
there you go.
TV. It's stupid shit, but I mean,
that's just what you need is another great big TV on your slingshot,
Yeah. It's exactly. That'd be dumb, until you see it and you're like, all right, that's stupid but awesome.
I secretly you're rolling around hoping that people start paying you as like one of those mobile billboards, right? That's perfect, what you're going for.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I know.
Just sit there in a parking lot and run commercials for like Underground or 12 volt. It's like, hey,
absolutely
pitch in a little bit, and I'll run your commercial just on repeat. It's perfect.
It's
silly, but it's a good idea.
I just got a text from Joker Marino down here, and he's saying to let you guys know that you guys don't know what Joker is bringing. I have no idea what that means, because that slingshot has been hiding from the world for a couple months. So we'll see what he does coming soon.
I can only imagine with that guy. I mean, every time I saw that slingshot for the first time 2 years ago at Sling Experience, 2022.
No, maybe the first time was in Tampa
Maybe in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, what is that?
Yeah.
And the evolution of that slingshot from then till now has just been phenomenal. I mean, trust me, I laughed at it when I first saw it. I was like, who would do that? And now it's like, dude, that's actually pretty cool. He's done the thing right. So
he does everything himself. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's what's fun. That's what makes it fun. I know that, you know, different whatever car club or Jeep clubs or baggers or whatever, and they look at some of the slingshots and they're just shaking their head like, y'all are ridiculous. And yeah, they're right. They're exactly right. We are, and that shit is ridiculous, but it's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, you're having fun and you're building some shit that shouldn't be done at all. Like, you shouldn't even do it to a car. But the fact that you can do it to a slingshot and get that kind of sound out of it, that says something. That's got its own, you know, clout to it, you know.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Who the hell?
And then if you could do it and make it look good and make it clean, so.
Did you say who the hell is Baby Smoke? You haven't.
Yeah. I was just catching up on the comments, and I'm like, I missed something.
Oh no! See, if Baby Smoke, if he was here in the comments, it would be like 76 Baby Smoke in the house, Baby Smoke in the house, baby. And you're like, who the hell is a Baby Smoke in the house? Like, he would comment like 76 times. So TJ's kind of making fun that he's not there. It's great.
He's one of our guys down here in our group, and he just spams the comments. He wants everyone to know that he's Baby Smoke and that he's in the house. So
I got
TJ's saying Baby Smoke is not in the building tonight. That's it.
I got you.
That shit is funny. But so you're not gonna make it to Miami. Well, that sucks, but it's all right. It's all right. I was hoping for the rematch because, man, I tell everybody that's an unpopular opinion, but Brad beat him at Sling Experience. But
and Marino's in the comments now. Joker's he just joined.
Oh yeah. And it's an unpopular opinion. Like, I'll have people in other states and shit messaging me going, "Come on, bro, you know that's not right." I'm like, it doesn't mean shit. It's just an opinion. But when we're talking about like the quality sound, it was, you know, Mad Scientist, I felt sounded better, and it's okay. It doesn't matter. Shit, he got the belt. That's badass. Like, good job. But I don't know. I was hoping for the rematch. But
I have told him that at any given time that he wants to pull up and push play, I'm game, because it's so fun to take two slingshots like that and just let them go.
Yeah, you're right. And I think what makes it more fun is that, you know, you don't get all emotional about it. You don't give a shit. You're having fun, but it's so fun to me to watch everybody else around you, like, or just everybody else in the crowd be like, "What? That's bullshit. It didn't sound that good," or, you know, it's funny. But that's the funny part to me. But the fun part is the excitement, the crowd. You know, everybody's just reaction when both of them play. They're just like amazed at you know, the sound that comes out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a kick out of taking it to contests or competitions and pulling up, you know, and the judges are standing there, and I'm like, you probably want to take about 5 steps, just back up a little bit to listen to this, you know, and they're, "Oh, I'm fine. All right."
Hey.
You hit play and you watch them jump, you know, stumble 3 steps back or, you know, whatever. And I'm like, tried to warn you, you know,
feel it like thumping in your chest.
Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I built that thing to just be stupid, and that's what it is. You know, no other way about it. No, it's for fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Really to irritate the neighbors as much as anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that he'll be ready for you for the Super Bowl in September.
Yeah. Well, I can't be there.
No, in September.
Oh, in September. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be there unless something falls apart. You know, done too much traveling here lately, and I'm getting a little behind at the shop. And if I don't get some stuff done, I'm going to be looking for a job. So
Yeah, nice. That's
see if
always my
JT will
favorite.
hire me to build some boxes or something.
Yeah, exactly. We could bring you onto the production line,
Yeah.
get some stuff done.
I
That's
mean,
perfect.
since we're talking about competitions and all that, I know you just recently had a grudge match in Georgia, right? For the bikes and bass.
Yeah, you could call it a grudge match. It's yeah, it was. That's probably a good accurate term for it. Grudge match. It was, I've known Troy for probably 4 or 5 years now, so it was fun. You know, the we went in, and I pulled up. I saw Troy standing over by Zeus. I walked up to him and was talking to him, and he goes, "Yeah, I got to play against some slingshot or something." And I was like, "Some slingshot?" And he goes, "Yeah, that thing's sitting over there." And I was like, "Oh, that's mine." And he's like, "Oh, okay, all right then." So,
That's funny.
and I looked at him and I said, "Troy, I'm going to tell you right now. I can tell you exactly how it's going to go." I said, "You're going to bury me on base." I said, "You're going to have so much more base than I do. It's not even funny." I said, "I'm going to bury you on mids and highs."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't know." So we just got the tens put in the lowers and got the thing tuned, and I really got that thing sounding the way I wanted it to. I was like, "I'm going to bury you on mids and highs."
Yeah.
So anyway, we're playing, and at the end of my last round, I played it at full volume for the first time, and Troy was standing over there watching, and we got about halfway into the song, and he just goes
Yeah.
and looks down, and I just smiled. So we go to shake hands afterwards, and he goes, "God damn, that thing's loud." I said,
Yeah.
"I tried to tell you." And he's like,
Yeah.
"It sounds good, but it's loud." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, your bass is ridiculous." And that's
Yeah.
kind of how it ended, or went away. But
Yeah.
make no bones about it, that bike is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound that he gets out of that thing, and it's not just the bass that bike has. I mean, for what he's got, you stop and think about it. That bike has 10 speakers on it, probably, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the mids and highs are phenomenal on that bike. Is it ever going to have the same amount of volume as a Slingshot with 32? No, it's not going to be close. But for what he's working with, what he's got for real estate, that thing is super impressive. So, I'm possibly selling my Slingshot, but if I don't sell it, I've got some rebuilds in mind for next year, and I think we're going to go a little over the top just to be.
Yeah. But hey, that might give you an opportunity to build something different, and you learn from your mistakes, when you build it over. Like I've contemplated selling mine just because it's like not to get out of it, but just to do something different, change it up, just to it's never ending. It's like you should leave it alone and you're fine, but that's
ultimately I built that Slingshot to sell though. My goal was to build a Slingshot, take it out, show it for a year, 6 months, and sell it, and then build another one for the next year. And that way you keep new, fresh stuff out there. Come out with a fresh build every year. It's kind of cool. I don't have the money to do it unless I sell the one that I've already got. Now, if there's anybody out there in the world that wants to sponsor me to put together a Slingshot every year,
exactly. Yeah,
call me.
I can give you 2 badass sub boxes. I'm down to sponsor. I'm always down to sponsor my badass boxes. So
yes, absolutely.
you might need a little bit more bass, but
we can do a little tweaking.
Let's just put it might be able to tweak it a little bit.
How much would you sell that Slingshot for?
Probably 70,000.
Okay. And that would be a deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's about 60,000 in audio in the thing. So, if I were to build that system for somebody, it would be probably between 60 and 80,000. So,
and I would say probably more just because you would do it different now. if you were to build it again, it would just certain things would be different and it would be better. So it's like, yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing that I get a kick out of is, it's like you said, Paula, the first time you saw that Slingshot was at Sling Experience 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't touched that thing. It's the exact same Slingshot as it was that day. I replaced 2 blown speakers on that thing in 2 years, and I abuse that Slingshot. I mean, it gets worked all the time, and it is bulletproof. I mean, I just take it out and push play. It realistically never leaves my trailer. I trailer it to the show, roll it off, do whatever for the weekend at the show, pull it back on the trailer, and it stays in the trailer. I don't even get it out here at the shop.
Mariana is saying that Mad Hatter is saying that if it was yellow, she'd buy it.
They had the first opportunity to buy it at Sling Experience. Mad Hatter was actually talking about buying it. He asked how much I wanted for it at Sling Experience in 2022.
Nice.
And I gave him a price, and he's like, let me go talk to the wife. And then she vetoed it. So I'm going to say that, and at that point, I volunteered to paint it yellow for them for that the price that I was going to sell.
For the price, we could probably get it in the paint booth. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
We can get the whole Mad Hatter theme going on and put little hats on the sub. I mean, we can get down. We can get creative.
Yes, that was a legitimate conversation that went on at Sling Experience that year. And it's kind of ironic because the guy that was talking to me here recently about buying it just happens to be Mad Hatter's uncle in Maryland. So,
wow. Yeah, she's really like saying it's because it's not yellow. That's why they didn't buy it.
Well, tell her, all right, my comment back to her is, I can make it yellow. Give me a call.
Yeah. It could be yellow pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a painter.
Yeah. And, I like when you said that, when you play the shit out of it, like you punish it, because when I played it in heavyweight and super heavyweight in Memphis last year, and I remember you telling me afterward, you're like, hey, man, you afraid to turn it up? And I'm like, yeah, I was. Like, I thought I was playing it pretty loud, but I guess I was a little scared because, just if you don't know it, you're just like, I don't want to burn this shit to the ground. But the owner, that the tuner, the guy who plays it, I'm turning that, where it's about to burn up, and you're going to play it right at that edge.
I will tell you, anybody that wants to grab the controls of that thing, if they have an Android phone, you can pretty much play it at full volume at any given time, and you won't hurt it.
Yeah. I think that's where I was at. I had Apple, and I was like, I'm scared. I don't want to.
If you have an iPhone, I can't say that that's the same.
Yeah,
because.
So you think Androids are better than iPhones, or
no? I'm not saying that. It's the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth is way different from Android to Apple, and the volume levels and everything are completely different.
Yeah.
Me being an Android user, I have everything tuned to Android.
Yep.
So
that's important. That's such a underrated conversation that people don't have, like with their installer, with their tuner. Say, what kind of phone do you have? What kind of phone do you play the music on this? How do you play it? Do you Bluetooth? Do you plug it in? Do you play a CD? Like, because it needs to be tuned that way, because it'll be totally wrong, if you don't. Or it won't be necessarily wrong, but you'll burn some shit up, unexpectedly, because you hop in with your Android after tuning it to iPhone. It's like, how come it don't sound good? I'm like, oh shit, you got an Android. And so when you tune it to Android and then you hop in there with your iPhone, you're like, oh my God, why is this so, overpowering, or something, this doesn't sound right. It's like, because I tuned it with Apple, or tuned it with Android. So it's definitely a conversation you got to have with your tuner when you're putting a system in, because it is totally different tune.
Well, and arguably, if your tuner doesn't ask that question, they're not doing everything they should be.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Rob is asking if you can make it blow potato chip bags up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a requirement for Mrs. Mad Hatter.
Yeah. That was funny.
But
I remember seeing
it'll only blow potato chips. It'll only blow potato chip chunks onto a blue slingshot.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because from what I understand, if you're not 12 volt, then you're not shit. So I don't know, Rob. That's what they said. That's what the comments are saying. Well, man, Brad, we appreciate you coming on. I know you got to get some work done, and I'm not trying to hold you up for our normal podcast. This thing could run an hour and a half to 2 hours because people will get to chatting and talking, and we start asking questions, and we start repeating, and then it just we keep having fun. But man, I want to I appreciate you coming on, and kind of giving some insight to you and your company and, what you do and why you do it. You're a big figure out there. People know who you are. And I think they really like you and are attracted to you because you're just humble about it. You're, you got a badass system, or you build badass systems, and they don't always have to win. But when they play, they're heard. People know that shit is, serious.
Yeah.
But I think that I like that humbleness. People don't. That's underrated also, because people get so wrapped up in like, oh, I'm the fucking best and I should be winning all the time. And it's like, I mean, yeah, maybe you should, but you don't have to say that shit.
Quite honestly, you better hope you don't win all the time, because if you do, nobody's pushing you. I mean,
yeah,
it's as simple as that. Is if you're always top dog, or if you think you're always top dog, you're selling yourself short. That's just the facts. Because there's always somebody out there that does something better than you do. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
When you think you're the best, you're not learning anything. So.
Yeah. Well, good deal, man. Well, yeah, good luck in Chicago, right? You're going to Chicago this weekend?
Yeah, I got to get out here. TJ is still hanging around for me to tune his slingshot, and I guess I'm going to have to go
work on
appease him. So,
yeah. Fucking TJ. I think he made some changes. I think so. Hopefully he's going to show up and show people something different. We'll see.
Yeah, he's
I'm not going to let all those cats out of the bag, so we'll see.
And I'm not going to lie to you. He's done a lot of it himself. I mean, he's been here in the shop, but he's putting in the work. He's doing it. It ain't me. He's getting it done. So,
that's good.
Hats off to him and everything he's accomplished.
Yeah, him and Ted were trying to fight over who's the best, Bondo and fiberglass guy. So,
well, there's no question about that. That's Ted.
Oh.
And I only say that because TJ hasn't done any fiberglass or Bondo stuff.
Okay.
He wants to learn. He's planning on doing some over the winter on his slingshot and the whites.
Oh,
but
nice.
At this point, he's never done it, so I know Ted can do it better.
Okay.
So
good.
There you go, Ted. You got your props. How's that?
There you go, Ted. So,
listen, we need to record this, like screen record this, and anytime in our chat that he starts to talk, crap to Ted, I'm just gonna play this.
We got
you can't do that to me, please. Let's try and keep the I'm waiting for like a bullet to come through this door behind me any second.
He's gonna kick the door in like the cops. Yeah.
Right.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on, Brad. Definitely, man. And working hard, and I'll be seeing you in Memphis for sure.
All right. Y'all have a great night.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks for joining.
All right. Well, that was a good event. Yeah, good show. And so I guess we want to take a few minutes to talk about Memphis Madness coming up. What's going to be, I won't say the only show coming up, but the one that we're doing our pose-off challenge for.
Yes.
And we're, raising money for the gifyouth.org. Look that up. They're doing some good work, with trying to keep people out of trouble, man. That's what it's about. It's easy to go down the wrong path when you're young. So, giving guidance, giving help to youth, and, whether it's spiritual or just counseling, and just, giving them another avenue. So that's what we're raising money for, with the Memphis Madness. So we want, shops, vendors, anybody who wants to donate product to give that we can auction off. That'll be great. So that's a big deal. So far, like me, my company, Flex Style Design, I'm going to give up 2 boxes to donate to auction off. And then I'm going to go ahead and give myself $100 in the pose off challenge. So I'm already up $100. So,
well, I'm gonna give myself $100. I'm gonna
Oh,
give
shit.
myself $101. How about that?
Okay, fine. And then also, I think they're supposed to be trying to do the water gun fight. So I went ahead and got me a heater, you know. So we'll be ready.
Relax.
Just, you know.
Relax. All right.
Okay. See which one you got,
Relax.
because I'll go buy that too. 'Cause I had to finance this thing. It was kind of expensive. It was almost as much as my car payment. So
Listen, I'm gonna show up with a pressure washer.
be ready. That's what Ted said. He said he's going to show up with a fire truck. I'm like, well, shit, man. These guys are trying to step their game up. Like, we can do it, you know. But it ought to be a good event, you know. Absolutely.
And I'm challenging all the ladies and all the men to just post a picture. It's for fun. And then, of course, you know, post it on your personal page, post it on Slingshot Audio Garage, and use the hashtag JT versus Bionic Memphis Madness. And, you know, just help raise awareness. And we're going to be auctioning those items. And, you know, if you want to just put some money in the bucket.
Yeah. I think even Roger
just
said
put it in my bucket.
No.
Just put it in my bucket.
See, you guys last at the Sling Experience, you were walking around saying, "Hey, don't talk to my customers." I'm like,
because you were trying to talk to my customers.
What was funny though is I had people coming up to me and go, "Here, man, here, I'm gonna give this to you. I'm giving this to you." Okay, I'm like, "Okay, cool, you know."
They would give you like $1, give me 20. They just were giving you like, you know.
I wasn't getting the big money, but I was getting some money. So I've got to work on my poses. I've definitely got a few that I'm working on, you know, and I can't do the bikini top. I'm not confident enough to pull that off. But I know Roderick said that he wanted to get involved this year, so he's gonna have his bucket. You know, he's gonna throw up his model and, you know, put his modeling hat into the ring. So we'll see who all wants to join us, and you know, try to raise money. You know, if your family member says, "Man, I'll give you $20," then we'll put your name down. You know, you raise $20 for the GIFYouth.org. And, you know, we'll put you on the listing, you know, and just, you know, we put so much money in our slingshots and we throw so much money at something that you can't get nothing out of. So, you know, to give money back to charity that is truly helping people and to be better, to, you know, to have a better life. That's what it's about. So that's what we want to do. So, you know, vendors, shops, you know, reach out to us, you know, any one of the admins on Slingshot Audio Garage. What do you want to donate? You can't post your products for sale on our group page without donating something to give away. Like, that's just how it works. So I will delete all your posts, and it's not personal. It's not even business, because I'm not making money on this. So you gotta promote the group, which is, we used to do it where, you know, I put up a speaker box and we give it away to somebody in the group. Well, this year you know, I put up a speaker box and we auction it off for charity. So charity for Sling Experience was the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. And so for Memphis Madness, we're doing the GIFYouth.org. So it's GIFFYOUTH.org. And definitely check that out. And, you know, you don't have to give it to us. If you want to give directly to them, that's fine too, you know, but we appreciate anything anybody can do. So that's what it's about. Yeah. So I guess that's all we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up. And who we got coming up?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We have some people. I have the schedule here. So next week we have Scott Owens from Insane Asylum Motorsports. Then August 5th, we have Roderick, Memphis Madness. Then August 12th, Moet the Painter. And then some guy on August 19th. I don't know. Maybe some people know him. Not sure, but some guy from Flex Style Design. You know
that guy. Yeah. I think they make like pretty badass boxes, from what I understand. I'm not sure, but we'll have to talk to them and see what they're about. I'm not sure. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they'll live up to the hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be awesome. And then we got who was the last one for the month?
Yes. So we have Alma Johnson from Slingshot Sisters, August 26th.
Okay, perfect. And then you know, this Sunday we're gonna have the Slingshot Sound spot. We got Rob, our very own Rob Lefler, and TJ Garag. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I always mess that up. they're going to be doing their recap, and it's at, is it 8 o'clock Eastern
Yes.
time? So yeah, there's a 7 o'clock Central, and okay, perfect. So yeah, they're going to be on this Sunday with their wrap up for the Chicago show. So
Yes.
definitely everybody tune in for that, and like and subscribe on YouTube. So go over and follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, we
I
actually.
think
Let's see.
we were doing I think we were talking about trying to do a like a special on YouTube where we're going to that one day when we had Lucas on and everybody was just talking shit in the comments and kind of roasting everybody. Like, that was a good time. And we're going to do a special on YouTube where you have to go to YouTube. You have to be following us on YouTube to be able to see our roast special. And it'll just be, probably the 5 of us just, BSing about nothing. And, that was a good time. I think that's what it's about. It doesn't always have to be about slingshots. We can just talk about dumb shit, and that's fun. So.
And we have a whole 198 subscribers on YouTube. Let's see if by tonight 2 people can help us out and get us to 200. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, we appreciate everybody on Facebook following us and Instagram, but get over to YouTube and check us out. That definitely helps us out and makes us more popular, and throughout the country, not just our guys on Facebook. So we appreciate that. All right, Paula. Well, man, it was good seeing you again.
Yes.
All right, we'll see y'all later. We appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Bye.